What's good, everyone? It's your boy. It's been a minute. I was busy with some stuff in real life, but I am back. And today we are going to be talking about shotguns in Global Anarchy. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really use them much in the beginning when I started playing, but kind of got curious, so I tried them out, leveled them up, tried them out with different attachments, different maps. And today we're here to answer the question, are shotguns good in Global Anarchy? Now, the answer is a mixed bag, so yes and no, despite what you're seeing in the background. Because sometimes it'll look like this, and I'm just absolutely shredding. I'm a close range demon just dropping attack helicopters, and I'm thinking this gun might be overpowered. But then sometimes I'll be using the weapon and I'll run into situations like this, where I'm constantly reloading, I'm always dying. It feels like I'm shooting a water gun because my bullets do like 4 damage. And it's just overall, you start to question if they're usable. But I'm here to tell you that they're actually quite good and they can actually shred your opponents, but only under certain conditions. And today we'll be going over how to use them, when to use them, and what that looks like. And hopefully by the end of this video, you'll be down to try out the shotguns. Because personally, I have not been able to stop playing with these. I think they're actually super fun. They're very like quirky and like kind of janky, kind of weird, but you have to play in a different way than usual, and I just think it's a great time. So let's go ahead and get into some of the conditions or requirements for making shotguns a very usable and actually very good gun. A problem with the shotgun is that obviously the range isn't great. In fact, it's actually pretty terrible in this game, and your opponents can fry you from 50 feet away while you're shooting Nerf darts at 10 feet away. And the solution to this is smart movement. You're gonna need to be sliding around constantly to make yourself a harder target and like get around the map quicker and be more efficient. You're also gonna need to be parkouring and dodging enemy bullets while reloading, and you'll be reloading a lot, trust me. I recommend checking out the Ultimate Movement Guide that I recently released. I go over some really tips in there that I picked up on the road to Prestige to max level. I've played this game quite a bit. Using those movement techs will genuinely double the amount of kills that you get with any weapon. So highly recommend you check that out, shotguns or not. But let's go back to shotguns specifically. So as I mentioned earlier, you are constantly going to be reloading with the Auto 12 because it only has 10 bullets, and usually you can get 1 kill with your magazine and like maybe 2 at best. And what this means is that you're gonna need to be parkouring and sliding and dodging enemy bullets while reloading. Or you need to be sliding behind a wall to reload and then sliding back out to get more kills. And you need to be quick so that you can get around the map faster. Like for example, if you see an opponent 15 feet away, you need to close some distance while shooting or else she'll be doing like 5 damage. All around, you're just gonna need to be using your movement to quickly react to situations, keep you alive, close distance on enemies, and overall just like travel the map faster. The second condition for using shotguns effectively is good positioning and game sense. With regular guns, you have way more options with taking gunfights, but with shotguns, they can fry enemies, but only in the right conditions. And let's talk for a moment specifically about staying alive. And I think that's a huge thing for why game sense and positioning is essential for making shotguns usable. Notice here in this clip how I'm keeping myself closed off from all the long range angles. I'm hugging the walls. I'm trying to isolate only short range angles where I have the advantage. And if I have to run out in the open, then I'm gonna slide to make myself a smaller target. I wanna put an emphasis on always closing yourself off from long range angles. Close range angles are your best friend. Anything past 15 to 20 feet is a danger zone. Make sure you're only putting yourself in gunfights where you actually have an even chance or the upper hand with the shotty. That's the whole positioning thing. And I know this sounds obvious, stay close with shotguns, but it's especially important with this game and with these style of shotguns. Where it's not like a pump action, it's like you're shooting these like bursts of them. Another big thing about game sense is predicting enemies and always paying attention to your minimap. So using the information that you have, like if there's a UAV up, seeing kind of like with each scan where they're spawning and the trend of where they're going, you're gonna wanna use that information. It's extremely important because you have a limited amount of angles and places that you have an advantage. So you're gonna need to be using your game sense to figure out where they are and the best best angle and the best route to get there so that you're always at an advantage. Now, I know that I talked about reloading earlier, but I'm going to talk specifically about ammo management. Sometimes I actually reload early because if I have less than 6 bullets, I'm not confident that I'll be able to kill an enemy if I see them, because maybe they're slightly out of my range, maybe something goes wrong, maybe I miss some bullets. I'm just not confident with having less than 5 bullets. So if I drop below 6, I'm going to reload. Now, sometimes there might not be a good opportunity, or maybe sometimes I think I'm safe for probably 1.5 seconds before someone comes around a corner. Let me gamble and get this reload off. And like, that's the, I guess, skill aspect of ammo management. I think that's incredibly important with using the shotguns, because you're going to need to be efficient with using your ammo and also very strategic with when you reload. It's important to take calculated risks with the shotgun and reload early when you have the chance to put yourself in an advantage. The last major thing I'm going to mention here is map selection, and like, there's a pretty easy tier list here in my opinion. But I understand that this can partially be preference. But firstly, Harbor is the best map for shotguns by far. You can play around the crates and there's so much cover. If you're smart, you can go crazy on this map because it's kind of just like close range heaven. Glitch and Suburbs are also both solid. Glitch is surprisingly good. There are some wide open areas that you do need to avoid, but you can actually play most of the map close range. Suburbs is a map that you would think would be top tier for this, but there's a surprising amount of long range angles and areas with no cover. So like inside the house and a couple other places are good, but like the backyard, those like side parts of the house, anything in the middle that isn't between the trucks, you're going to be having a bad time there. Now for Mill and Reactor, they're both maps that I think shotguns can work on, but it's like not super ideal. I'd much prefer using like an SMG or an assault rifle, but that's just my personal experience. I feel like there's too many long range angles on those maps and you're just too much at a disadvantage. If you have a different opinion, feel free to let me know, and I'd love to give it another shot on those maps. Lastly, let's get into the loadout that I'm running in this video. So I'm using the Auto 12. I have kind of tried the other shotgun, but the stats on the Auto 12 are better and there's more ammo, so I haven't really used the other one as much, but let me know if it's secretly fire. And as far as attachments, I am using the hollow sight. I mean, it's up to your preference on going reflex or hollow sight. I just kind of like hollow sight more for the shotgun, but feel free to test out both. For proficiencies, I'm running sleight of hand. I will try steady aim when I unlock it, but I think sleight of hand is just actually more important because you need to reload so often. And then for skins, that's just up to you, man, but I like Blizzard. Now for perks, on perk 1, I'm running Marathon. As I spent a whole like 2 minutes in this video talking about movement, I think you can figure out why I like running Marathon. I think it's just important. Now second slot could be up to you. I think stopping power, rapid fire, and Juggernaut could all be good, but I like Juggernaut just because you're going to be getting shot at a lot and not being able to do much, so you just kind of want to be able to take more bullets, and I find that it's important. Third slot, run fast recovery. I think it's the only relevant option here, and you're going to need to be recovering a lot. And kill streaks, it's up to you. I run UAV, advanced UAV, attack helicopter. The UAV and advanced UAV are really important because you really want to be having that info so you can just like hunt people down. Pretty much that's it. These are just my opinions thus far playing with the shotguns. At first I thought they were really bad, but then I started figuring out how to play with them better. And I feel like in this game particularly, you kind of have to like finesse them and like use them in the right way, but I find that they're really fun, and so let me know if you've tried them, or maybe you actually have a better loadout than me and I'm trash, so let me know. I'd love to hear, and I will catch you on the next video. Peace.